Scores of Barbadians in several districts have been without electricity for several hours today, and the Barbados Light and Power Company is blaming what it's calling contaminated fuel. In a statement this evening, the BLNP said it was experiencing an issue with its heavy fuel oil generators due to fuel equipment failure, which is indicated was caused by apparent contaminants in the fuel, and this was based on laboratory analysis. As a result, some customers are experiencing an interruption of service as the company institutes a load-sharing procedure. The BLNP has given the assurance that their teams are working to safely conduct repairs to restore generation capacity and are working with their fuel supplier, the BNOCL, to address the supply quality issue. They're hoping to have full restoration by 9 p.m. Minister in the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Investment, Marcia Kettle, has weighed in on the debate about the establishment of a Barbados-owned bank. She says the matter is one the country has to discuss. In the interim, she says the credit unions have a role to play in helping citizens save and invest
in a way that's going to get them a real return on their investment. And it is in some of the things that we've talked about. We talked about green energy bonds, where even though people are not using renewable energy technology, they still get a return from the fact that other people may be using it. So there are lots of things that we're discussing with the credit unions, and they've been very engaged with us in exploring some of these.
The UWI graduation tent was filled to capacity as the Rotary Club of Barbados staged a concert featuring international tribute band, the Ultimate Elton and the Rocket Band. Now, hundreds of patrons rocked to the all-time favorites of the international superstar while enjoying fantastic performances by local acts as well. Paul Bacon played the great man himself. He says the trip to Barbados has been a long time in coming.
We've been trying to come here for the last few years, but it hasn't just fallen into place. But thankfully this year, with the Rotary Club of Barbados, we eventually managed to get out here, and hopefully we'll come again.
The fundraising and scholarship efforts of the Schoolhouse for Special Needs were the direct beneficiaries of the concert. Mr. Bacon says he couldn't think of a better cause.
That was great for us because it was suggested to us, and we were very happy to oblige. We went to see the school on Thursday. I met some of the teachers and some of the pupils who were here tonight, and that was fantastic. And then, as you say, last night we had an opportunity to perform at the Yacht Club, which went very well, and it was a nice warm-up for this evening as well. So yeah, it's just a pleasure to do it.
Well, as you just heard, the students of the Schoolhouse for Special Needs also enjoyed the show.
I like the show because I like the circle of life. It's my favorite song from The Lion King.
The show is really inspiring, and I feel very excited, looking forward to it. And I listen to it on my phone and listen to it in class.
Cricket unites the Caribbean and Sir Gary unites Barbadians. Just like the thousands that will be coming home for Regathering 2020, many came to Barbados in the past to see the focus of tonight's #246 feature, Sir Garfield Sobers. Barbados can boast of being the birthplace of arguably the greatest cricketer the world has ever seen, the Right Excellent Sir Garfield St. Auburn Sobers. He's done it! Sobers was a batsman of rare genius, a wily bowler who could deliver left-arm orthodox spin as well as left-arm swing, and add left-arm wrist spin to the list too. He was a super agile fielder to boot. What's more, he was an aggressive skipper as well. The fifth child in a typically large West Indian family, Sobers started playing beach cricket with his siblings. Now, after making a sound statement in school cricket and the Barbados Cricket League thanks to a string of all-round displays, Sobers propelled himself himself to the international stage at the age of just 17, donning the cloak of a man at a period when most of his peers were packing their bags for school. Sobers made his test debut against England at Jamaica, predominantly as a bowler. In his early days, bowling was his leading suit, with batting playing the sidekick to it. As his glorious career progressed, the roles reversed, an indication of Sobers' adaptive abilities. His batsmanship reached its peak when he struck an imperious, unconquered 365 versus Pakistan at home, a record that stood for 36 long years as the highest individual score in Test cricket, until Brian Lara snatched that honor in 1994. It marked the beginning of a Bradman-esque run, as Sobers piled up 500-plus runs in each of the subsequent 5 series, with the cover drive and hook standing out as an array of other shots. Following the departure of Sir Frank Worrell, Sobers was enlisted with the task of leading the West Indies team. He had considerable success as captain, leading West Indies in 39 tests until Clive Lloyd rose to take his tally to 74. Having established himself as a man for all seasons, it came as no surprise that Sobers was sought after outside of the Caribbean as well. Sobers representing Nottinghamshire in addition to his stints with Radcliffe Cricket Club at Norton Cricket Club in the UK. He also served South Australia with distinction, becoming the first cricketer down under to boast a rare double 1,000 runs and 50 wickets in the same season in 1962-63. His multidimensional skills were worth its weight in gold and drew massive crowds to Australia. He was knighted in 1975 and made a national hero in 1998. In all, Sobers played 93 tests, scoring 8,032 runs at an average of 57.78, and he took 235 wickets at an average of 34.04. Hashtag 246 was brought to you with the kind compliments of the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. Here's a tip from Cooperators General Insurance.
This tip of the day is brought to you by Cooperators General Insurance Company Limited. Insurance the way you want it to be.
Did you know? Penology is a branch of criminology that looks at how criminal activity is punished. This tip is brought to you in association with the Criminal Justice Research and Planning Unit, keeping an eye on crime.